Okay guys, so today we're gonna do a soft, natural, everyday looking makeup. And I always start off with skincare. I already did all of my skincare. I washed my face, I put on moisturizer, and the last step before I start my makeup is I actually apply sunscreen. So I have a sunscreen here that I really enjoy. It's by Tula. It is very glowy, and glowy skin is in right now. So I always put this on first. It does not take much at all. And I let that sit in my skin. And dry down before I apply any makeup. And I kind of press it in too. Okay, so that kind of gave a little bit of a glow. This is a birthmark. Ignore it. I don't even try to cover it. I don't honestly care. So while I'm letting that dry down, I'm going to get my products out that I'm going to be using. I just started trying this Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Moisturizer. This is the mini size because I didn't know what my shade was, but this is the shade Birch 1.5. It's amazing. I love it. I apply it with a brush. It says to apply with clean fingertips, and you can layer it for additional coverage. I've never used my fingertips. I don't like using my fingertips to apply my foundation, so I always use a brush. That's what I'm gonna stick with, but you can do whatever you prefer. I think my sunscreen has dried down. So I will either squirt this directly on the face, or I will put it directly on the brush. Now, I'm using a lot here because I'm using my camera as a mirror. I wouldn't advise that. I have a mirror sitting here. I just didn't use it. So I'm going to blend this out with swiping and pressing motions. This is not full coverage, but it is buildable. I've never built it up before, but that's what it claims. Because if I'm going for full coverage, I'm not going to use a tinted moisturizer, just being honest. I am going to go in with just a little bit more. It's really thick. This is the Total Face Sponge by e.l.f. My favorite drugstore sponge, 100%. So I want the most coverage on my cheeks because I have a lot of redness there, some freckles. And now you can kind of see it's pretty blended out. And this is what I do every day. It typically only takes me 5 minutes. It's obviously going to take me longer today because I'm doing a tutorial. But 5 minutes tops is how long it normally takes. So now I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is the shade Light Peach. It's kind of a bit light for me right now because, believe it or not, I am tan right now, but I still use it, so I don't mind. I'm gonna blend it out with the other side of my sponge. love this e.l.f. because look at the coverage on that. I have a lot of discoloration around my eyes and bags because I have a baby. And this does a good job of covering that up. Honestly, it's a little bit light, but I'll fix it with powder and bronzer and it'll work out. This is my winter shade, and I just haven't bought a darker shade. Okay. Now I'm going to set that with my favorite powder. I just started using this a week ago, and it's not a new product, it's just new to me, and I love it. It smells good, it's beautiful on the skin. It has kind of a blurring effect. It's really dirty, so ignore that. But this is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Powder in the shade Butter, and it is amazing. So I'm going in with this Alamar Cosmetics brush, and I'm just going to set the concealer. I have really dry skin, so I don't use a lot of powder because honestly my face would look super powdery. So I'll just take this big fluffy powder brush by Moda and dust it all over the face. And the thing I like about this powder is it's called Pro Filter for a reason. It blurs your pores really well, and that is one of the problems that I have with my skin. I have very large pores just naturally. It runs in the family. Okay. So now we're gonna move on to bronzer and blush. See how it kind of blurred this area? This is where my pores are the largest, but also on my chin. You can still see them on my chin. But it really does a good job, I promise. So now we're gonna go in with bronzer. I'm gonna be using the Hoola Benefit. They just came out with the Hoola Glow. I have not tried that yet, but I would love to try it. Like I said, I'm pretty fair. Sometimes this shade is too dark for me, so I have to blend it out. Ooh, see, look at that. Ooh. That is intense pigmentation. I love it, but it can be dangerous for pale people. And if I get too much and I'm looking scary, I'll just go back over it with my powder brush. I won't add anything to it. I'll just go back over it. And you can also use your sponge, and it blends it out really well. Okay. I like the way that that is looking, but I did go a little crazy on my cheeks. So now I'm going to be using a drugstore blush because it is beautiful and I love it. It's by Milani. This is the Rose Powder Blush in the shade Blossom Time Rose. It's gorgeous. You can kind of see I've used quite a bit of it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna apply any highlight. Don't really need it. I'm going to go back into my Hoola bronzer and I'm going to put it in the crease of my eye just to give some definition there. And really blend it out. You can see the difference. It just gives a nice shape. There is a mirror inside the Hoola palette. It's just so small. I can try to use it. It's just really difficult to do. There. So that's a really simple way to add some definition to the eye. And then I'm going to take, if I can find it, this shade brush by Moda into my blush that I just used from Milani. And I'm gonna pack this onto the eyelid. And it matches the tones on the rest of the skin and looks gorgeous. Now I will just take a small smudger brush back into the Hoola bronzer and I will smudge out the lower lash line and kind of connect them. I always put some sort of powder on the lower lash line because I have a lot of creasing there. It happens with every single concealer that I use, and that's a really good way for me to kind of correct that and cover it up. Now I need to fix these brows. These brows, they grow in all different directions. I wax them myself because they need waxed often. They haven't been waxed recently, so they look a little out there. Just ignore them. And the issue that I have with them is I have strawberry blonde hair. So my brow hairs, part of them are brown and the other part are blonde. So the blonde parts just look like bare. It looks like I don't have any hair there at all. I don't know if you can see on camera. They're a lot bushier than they look, but that's because some of the hairs are blonde. I've never tried dyeing them, although it might be something that I try in the future. So my favorite eyebrow pencil is the CoverGirl Ultra Fine Brow Pencil in the shade Honey Brown. Don't know if you can see that. Love it. It has a spoolie on one side and then a pencil on the other. So I always define the bottom and fill in a little bit. In the front. It looks kind of blocky, so what you do is you just go in with the spoolie again, disperse the product a little bit more. Looks more natural, less drawn on, and I'm going to do that to the other side. And I am going to comb it out with the spoolie. Now you don't have to do this next part. I just, out of habit, always have a eyeliner in the waterline. And one of my favorite eyeliners is from NARS, the High Pigment Longwear Liner. I believe this is the shade Santa Monica Boulevard. Not 100%, but it's white. Makes me look awake. I have a 4-month-old baby. Let me tell you, I'm not getting any sleep. I need this. Okay. And a lot of people don't like to use white liners because it's really stark, but like I said, I need it to open up these eyes because no sleep. So now I'm gonna curl my lashes and then we're gonna apply one of my favorite mascaras. So something that I do differently than most other people that I've seen is I actually apply setting spray before I put on my mascara. I have really long natural lashes, and every time I put on mascara first and then spray setting spray, I get mascara marks on my eyeshadow. Most of the time I have glitter or a shimmer on my eyelid, and it's hard to correct that. My favorite, and I think everyone's favorite setting spray, is the Urban Decay All Nighter. It really makes your makeup last all day. I don't use a whole lot of it. You really don't need a whole lot. I let that dry down. And I will go in with my sponge. I never did this before until I started watching Allie Glines on YouTube. You should check her out. She has a wonderful channel. She also sells really good makeup bags that I'm currently using. And she always does that, and it really helps to melt the powders into your skin. I used all powder today. I didn't use any creams, and that does a really good job of doing that. So now to finish the look, I'm going to use my Maybelline Sky High mascara. This is a really good lengthening mascara. My eyelashes are already pretty long as it is, but the thing that I love about this is when I use this and I go outside and sweat, or if it's raining, I have no issues with this running. I have no issues with it flaking off. It stays there. And even in the evenings, whenever I take all of my makeup off, it's not super difficult to get off. You just have to use an eye makeup remover. And when I take my makeup off at the end of the day, I will either use a cleansing balm or a cleansing oil, which typically gets other mascaras off super easy, super quick. But this mascara, I have to go in double time and really gently rub it on my eyelashes for it to come off. And it's not waterproof. It just stays really long, really well. See? It's beautiful. You have to be really careful when you go in with it though, because the bristles are so small. It can get clumpy. I almost never go in with 2 coats of mascara. I just don't like the buildup on my lashes, and I think it can weigh your lashes down. So I always go with 1 coat and call it good. So there you have it. This is my easy everyday summer makeup look. I wear this a lot and I go outside a lot. I never have any problems. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe. I post videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays, at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my videos range anywhere in the health and beauty realm, but also lifestyle. I'm a mom. I talk about mom things, but I also love health and beauty, so I will post videos about makeup and how to fuel your body in a healthy way, and also eating healthy can help your skin look a lot better. So if you're interested in any of that, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all on Thursday.